Welcome to my channel, everyone. Today's story is one that I've never spoken about publicly before, but it's a tale that needs to be told because it might help someone out there who finds themselves in a similar situation. Let's dive into this deeply personal and challenging story. It all started during the lockdown when my brother, 19 years old at the time, came to stay with us after his university closed down unexpectedly. My parents had just sold their house and moved into a one-bedroom apartment elsewhere, so he had nowhere else to go. Our family is tight-knit, but there's an age gap between me, 38, and my brother, who's the youngest by quite a bit. He's always been seen as more of a loner, preferring the company of his online friends and video games over real-life social interactions. Our house has 5 bedrooms and we're currently without children. We plan to adopt in our 40s, but we welcomed him with open arms. At first, everything seemed fine. We shared meals together, talked about school, and tried to make him feel at home. But little did I know, something sinister was brewing behind closed doors. One night, as I walked to the fridge in the middle of the night, I noticed my brother working on his laptop in the dining room. Curiosity got the better of me, so I approached a bit closer and saw that he had pulled up a very compromising photo of my wife, her cleavage showing as she was gardening. He quickly closed the window when he noticed me, but not before I was completely shocked by what I saw. I couldn't bring myself to say anything at that moment. Instead, I went back to bed feeling utterly bewildered and disturbed. The next day, while my brother was out running errands for us, I decided to look into his room, a place I'd never ventured into since he moved in. What I found there was heartbreaking. In a drawer of his desk, I discovered several bras and panties that clearly belonged to my wife. It was obvious what he had been using them for. The thought made me physically ill. Unable to resist any longer, I took his laptop and checked his password, which, ironically, I knew because I borrowed his Crunchyroll account once. The entries in his journal were sickening. There were photos of my wife in a towel, her working out, and even some in compromising positions that appeared to have been taken without her knowledge or consent. He documented every instance he touched himself while thinking about images of my wife, entries detailing how he listened into our bedroom during intimate moments. This was more than just a disturbing discovery, it felt like an invasion of privacy on the deepest level possible. I left his room feeling as if I needed to take a shower. It was absolutely disgusting, and it fueled a rage inside me that's hard to describe. But what could I do? My wife is the victim here, and she deserves to know everything. The next day, after a lot of soul-searching, I made the difficult decision to tell my wife about this betrayal. She reacted with shock and horror, but also a sense of violation that was palpable. We sat down together to talk it through. It's been one of the hardest conversations we've ever had as a couple. Now comes the question. What do we do next? Do I kick him out knowing he has nowhere else to go? Or do I tell my parents and risk breaking our already fragile family apart even further? It's a decision that keeps me up at night. My wife's reaction alone would be enough to make anyone feel lost and confused. She's not sure what she wants either. Her sense of violation is so strong, it might lead her to avoid the entire family. The truth is, I felt an overwhelming urge to physically confront my brother about this betrayal. But that wouldn't solve anything, it would only escalate things further. So, now we wait and see how everything unfolds. We're still processing what's happened and trying to figure out a way forward without destroying everyone involved. Can you imagine being in this position? How do you balance the need for justice with the reality of family ties and love? It's a question that leaves me feeling utterly conflicted every single day. Today, I share my story not just because it's personal, but because there might be others out there who are dealing with similar situations. If you're in this kind of situation or know someone who is, please reach out for support. Talking about these issues can make a world of difference. That's all from me today. Thanks so much for listening to my story and engaging with it. Remember, if you have any thoughts or questions, leave them down below. I'd love to hear your feedback on this challenging topic. And as always, don't forget to subscribe for more personal stories like this one in the future. Thanks again, and take care.